So, there hasn't been a Captain America movie since 2016, Civil War. Wow, I thought that was 2018 or something, but it was actually 2016, 8 full years ago. I tell you, when you hit 40, it's like someone puts your life into 2 times speed. Now, that film was very much an Avengers 2.5 movie, combining much of the principal Avengers cast, minus the Hulk and Thor, obviously, but it was a good film. Solid political story, the Avengers being divided by the Sokovia Accords, which sought to regulate and oversee the Avengers, holding them to some kind of internationally agreed framework so that they could no longer just act as vigilantes who could come and go as they pleased around the world. Given all the collateral damage they've caused over the years, the UN felt they needed to be reined in order to make them accountable for their actions in the event of unforeseen consequences. Basically, they were tired of the Avengers smashing up cities in the process of saving the world. Of course, as Steve Rogers points out, the Accords would only shackle and restrict the Avengers, preventing them from being somewhere when they were most needed. But it was a very clever and believable conflict. If superheroes were real, of course politicians and governments would try to control them and inhibit their powers. Yeah, the Captain America movies were probably the best in the franchise, actually, and there's another one on the way, a Captain America movie kind of without Captain America, or rather without Steve Rogers. The role of Captain America has now passed to the character of Sam Wilson at the end of Endgame. Wilson played by Anthony Mackie, of course. It's likely the role was transferred to Sam because they ultimately wanted a black Captain America, but when you think about it, it still makes no sense. The guy throws around and catches the shield with the strength, speed and power of Steve Rogers, despite not having a drop of super serum in his veins. But Bucky Barnes does. Surely it would have made more sense to make him the new Captain America. How could Sam Wilson possibly be suitable for the role, given that he isn't actually supernaturally strong? But anyway, Captain America Brave New World is on the way in Phase 5, and we're going to ask the question, does anyone still care? But first, imagine a captivating role-playing game with an immersive story, great graphics, amazing PvE and PvP battles, and a tactical upgrade system. What else could it be? Yes, you guessed it, it's today's sponsor for this video, Raid Shadow Legends. Beginning on April 15th and ending on May 31st, Raid is celebrating Spring in Teleria with a special Spring Hunt minigame where users can win gaming consoles and $10,000 worth of Amazon gift cards. You've just got to find some hidden items around Mistwood. So download Raid using my link in the description box below, or the on-screen QR code. Head to the website address on screen or linked below. It's springhunt.plarium.com, enter your raid ID and begin your search for the missing items. You can win lots of in-game loot, including legendary champions or skill tomes, real-life prizes like the aforementioned gaming console or Amazon gift cards. Raid prizes have never been so generous. In addition, new users will get 2 new packages rewarding 2 super strong epic heroes using the tracking link only. But that's not all. Raid is also celebrating community weeks dedicated to the existing Raid players. Make use of the promo code for all users, which is SpringHunt24, and get 10 XP brew, 100 energy boost and 100,000 silver. Everyone can get their hands on the free legendary champion Chronicler Adeline just by logging in for 7 days between April 11th and July 8th. She's perfect for defensive combat and strategic countermeasures. For new players, make use of my link in the description box below, or new players can also scan the QR code right here and you can get some amazing in-game loot with epic boss killer Tyrell and reactor Drath upon reaching level 25. Start raiding today and join my clan, Dave Cullen Show, on the battlefield, and best of luck. Okay, so welcome back. This article is from comicbookmovie.com. Captain America returns in first official look at Brave New World. A couple of scenes from Captain America Brave New World were shown earlier tonight during Disney Marvel Studios' CinemaCon presentation, and while the footage hasn't and likely won't be released online, we do have the first official promo images via EW. The stills feature Anthony Mackie as the returning Sam Wilson, equipped with Steve Rogers' iconic vibranium shield, and our new Sentinel of Liberty meeting General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, played by Harrison Ford this time, who tasks Wilson with reforming the Avengers. In the footage, we see Ross welcome Wilson to the White House to commend him on his past heroism, but chaos soon ensues when music plays and activates some sleeper agent assassins, including Carl Lumbly's Isaiah Bradley, attempt to take out the president. It made more sense for it to be more of a grounded espionage movie as opposed to aliens and airplanes coming through portals and shit, Mackie tells EW. Even though I've been in so many of them and have seen it all now, the opportunity for Sam to really establish himself as a true action star and Avenger comes with this movie. Okay, so that sounds to me like they're trying to sort of recapture the magic of Captain America the Winter Soldier, which was probably the best film in the franchise, if you ask me. A grounded, gritty spy thriller, conspiracy type film. Mind you, we thought we were getting something similar when we saw the first trailers for Black Widow, and boy, were we off base with that one. Still, if you're trying to emulate the energy and tone of a previous MCU movie, you could do a lot worse than Winter Soldier. The article continues, "This movie is a clear reset," he adds. "It really reestablishes the idea of what this universe is and what this universe is going to be. I think with these movies, you're getting a clear new branding of what Marvel is headed towards, the same way they did with Captain America the Winter Soldier." Incidentally, the film also sees the return of Liv Tyler, reprising her role as Betty Ross, and Tim Blake Nelson reprising his role as Samuel Stearns. They both previously appeared in the Incredible Hulk film way back in 2008. That was only the second MCU film ever after the first Iron Man movie. Now, as we've talked about before, Captain America Brave New World has gone through extensive reshoots. There were problems with this film. Now, it's never a good sign when there's a lot of reshoots, and that's sort of become par for the course for many big Hollywood franchise movies lately, especially the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There's a great deal of wastefulness now, I think, in Hollywood. Budgets are growing way too big because of costly reshoots and/or massive amounts of CGI being used to try to fix things in post-production. So I have to ask now, does anyone care to see a Captain America movie without Steve Rogers in the role? But moreover, a Captain America movie in this particular era of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, after a myriad of recent failures and the sharp decline in quality that the franchise has endured in recent years. When Civil War came out, the franchise was basically in its heyday. It could seemingly do no wrong, and there was a real confidence as a cinema goer that when you went to see an MCU movie, you were pretty much guaranteed a good time. You could rest assured that the basics were sorted. Great direction, solid writing and story, top-notch visuals, and just a really well-crafted movie. But you can't guarantee that now with the MCU. The CGI, for one, has really gone downhill, and the scripts are often very poor, generic, and all too often saddled with the message. It would be nice to believe this movie could turn things around, but it's like a sort of a rot has set in with this franchise now in a way, and this particular film has already been delayed due to reshoots. It was originally supposed to be released in May 2024 at the time of making this video. That's next month. But now the film won't be out till February 2025. Delays like this are also very common for the MCU now, and they aren't good signs for the movie in general. The reality is there's been too much recent mediocrity in the MCU, and as a result, there's much less confidence among many cinemagoers that the new films are going to be good. A good MCU film is now the exception rather than the rule at this point. I think when the Infinity Saga was happening, there was a huge interest in seeing how that story arc would play out. It was actually an intrinsic part of the MCU at the time. But since that story arc finished, the MCU really has been creatively rudderless. And it's all done and dusted 5 years ago, so there's no exciting unifying story that binds the franchise together anymore, leading to, I believe, an increase in audience apathy. So those are my thoughts on Captain America Brave New World at this particular point. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you to our sponsor for today, Raid Shadow Legends. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.